Hello, everyone. I hope it's going well. I know I have not been streaming well for a little while, so figured it would be fun to do another stream, get some painting in. I'm just gonna let folks know that I'm streaming tonight. See if anyone's got some hobby time, some projects. It's been a little while since the last one, and that one was even trying to play 10th edition, so probably not the best one for seeing how everybody was doing, checking in with you guys. The 10th edition certainly was an attempt for me to learn how to play Warhams. So that's always, kind of fun. It's a good time. I don't love the math involved, but that's okay. We can be bad at math and still play war games. But yeah, here we are. Getting ready. Hello, Roz. Hello, Goober. How are you guys doing? I think everything's going well. I'm hoping everything's going well. Alright, let me get that out of here. I've got a lot of different projects all over my hobby desk, some of which I need to move so I can actually figure out what I'm painting today. So let me get this big guy put over here. Got a couple of different things to choose from. Hi, Kraz. How's it going? How are you? Ooh, you're building Space Marines? That's fun. That's fun. I'm either going to be finishing off my crew of little space guys. I've got my 5 parsecs from home crew that I've been working on. I've got a lot of my little Mordheim characters that I've got on the table. So we're either going to be finishing up these guys. I finished up my space werewolf just about. I want to add some like little bubbles or something to his blood vats, but other than that, I mean, he looks sick as hell, so I'm happy with it. But then I got our space captain that I probably have to finish up a few details and then like put some put a wash on it and then add some more details after that. And I've got like a space lizard as well, because lizards are cool. So yeah, these were 2 kit bashes that I made when Roz came to visit. So that was fun. That was a whole lot of hobbying in a short amount of time. I think, because I'm thinking of it right now, I'll probably do some work on these. No worries there, Kraz. You lurk and paint. You always have a lot going on, so I'm happy you have any time at all to paint. The camera's wonky. I'm sorry. I'm still figuring out where the best spot for it is. I think I want to just paint some like flames on the bottom. A lot of old Warhammer models have like really cool flame designs, and I can't paint fire exactly like that. I don't know what it is. I just never seem to get the flames quite right. But I'm gonna try anyway. And then even if it doesn't look like fire, it'll have a little bit of flare. We'll have something. Oh goodness, Goober, you gotta remember to eat well before you get blood drawn. Yeah, that'll do it to you. I'm glad they gave you some juice and you have some KFC. That's good. If you're getting blood drawn or getting a tattoo, those are like the two big times that you need to like have had food. I have such a mess of friends who forget to eat and then are like, "Oh no, I don't feel so good," and I'm like, "Not eating will contribute to that." I need to get new paint water. I'm probably not going to do that for the entirety of this stream. It would be really smart if I got more paint water, though. And this one's looking a little crusty. But what's new? That's pretty consistent. I have been hobbying. Like, I haven't just been in a weird state where I don't do any kind of creative projects. I just haven't felt like I had a really good idea or anything that I wanted to make a video about. And I was kind of tired overall, so I was like, when I feel like making videos again, I'll come back to it. I'll have the enthusiasm that I want to have for it, and yeah, I've got a pretty good idea of what I want my next video to be about. I just I'm waiting to get one of the models that I need, and then I'll be able to make a video about painting candy wargaming terrain. A video that is so niche, nobody is going to want to watch it, but I don't care because I'm really proud of how I painted up my little cottage, and I also am really eager to paint up more candy wargaming terrain. Because I just think that it's fun. And I'm gonna build a whole little candy town, and I need help thinking of a good name for the candy town that I'm working on. I was thinking of stealing one from Crown of Candy, that Dimension 20 campaign, because they mention a place called Cookie Shire, which sounds really cute, but I don't know. Maybe I can think of something better and original, which is probably also good to do. It doesn't majorly feature, so I'm sure it's not going to be too much of a problem if I end up going with that. But I'd like to think that I can maybe think of something in that brain o' mine. If you have any bright ideas, let me know. How's it going, Brady? Brady, did you post a Willy Wonka video today, or am I just like, did you happen to do that on the same day that the trailer for the new Willy Wonka film came out? Like, was that planned, or was that just a happy accident? Also, what do we think of Timothée Chalamet being the new Willy Wonka? Because I have thoughts, and they aren't positive. I do not think that is a good cast choice, nor is it convincing from what I saw in the trailer. I was like, this man, go back to your indie films, sir. You were fine in those. Why are you doing this? This isn't you. This doesn't feel right. Become the town of Toblerone. How do you not know this, Roz? Yeah. Look it up. I think it's just called Wonka, because of course they can't call it Willy Wonka, and now they can't call it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so they're just gonna keep butchering like permutations of those words for the next several adaptations. But yes, another one, Hugh Grant, I think it is one of the, is it Oompa Loompa? I don't remember if there was anyone else that I was supposed to know the name of in the trailer. But yeah, it's been all over, at least my corner of the internet today. The chocolate corner of the internet that I live in. Two Willy, two Wonka. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the OG being Gene Wilder is extremely hard to top. I think Gene Wilder is such a neat guy. Two of my favorite performances of any actor, I suppose, is gonna be him as Wonka and then him as Dr. Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein, which is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know why. I just really love I love Frankenstein in general, so an adaptation with Gene Wilder was bound to be my cup of tea there. Hello, Hoodie Mouse. Welcome to the stream. We're going to talk about all kinds of nonsense, but starting with, I don't think Timothée Chalamet is going to be a good Willy Wonka. And that's my opinion, and you can quote me on that. I will testify to that one in court. Usually I'm like, don't at me. You can at me for that one. I'll confess to that one. Yeah, if that wasn't planned, that was a hell of a coincidence, Brady, so good on you for that. I haven't had time to watch your video, but I saw you post about it in our super cool Discord that you can join if you want. I'll post a link when I'm not painting this part, or somebody else can post a link if they want to, but you're more than welcome to join. To anyone who might be lurking and isn't a part of our Discord server yet, you don't have to be a patron or anything. You can just hang out there with us and discuss bad tattoo ideas that I'm inevitably going to get tattooed because I do not care and I just want to have fun little pictures all over my arms. I think since last stream I think this is new. I think you haven't seen, I don't know that I've shown off on stream the new tattoo, but it's still got a couple of places that are healing up a little bit. But these are, I've got Achilles and Hector on my arm now, and there's Lobster there. So I've got all three boys, all represented. Hello, Soda. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How kind of you to be here. I don't have a Wonka tattoo yet. Not saying it won't ever happen, but alright, let me grab a link to my own Discord server so that if anybody would like to join, they can. The Wonka tone is bad? Yeah, it's bad. I don't think Tim Chalamet, I don't think he has, like, whimsy. I feel like you need whimsy to play Willy Wonka, and he has this, like, great disaffected kind of personality, but it's not whimsical. And I argue that Willy Wonka needs whimsy. I don't think he's got it. But then again, I also did not like him as Paul in Dune. But I think that might just be me not liking Paul as a character. I think I might just not like Dune in general. That might have nothing to do with Mr. Chalamet one way or the other. But yeah, wasn't a fan of him. Don't think he's a good cast for Willy Wonka. It's fine in other films that I've seen him in. He was fine in Lady Bird. He was fine in Little Women. I watched Bones and All the other day, and he was fine in that, you know. Seen him in a couple of things. But far be it for me to tell anyone where to take their career. Like, I have no authority to give advice in that situation. I am not an Oompa Loompa, at least not last time I checked. Paul Dune from the hit movie Dune. Will it be worse than the Tim Burton? I don't know. It'll be different from the Tim Burton. That I'm sure of. Worse is, like, really hard to say. There were aspects of the Tim Burton version that I thought worked. There were just also a lot of aspects that I didn't think worked. I think it's hard when you adapt something that has such a like really stellar adaptation as the original. I mean, tons of people are fans of that. Approaching that with anything less than, like, I don't know, just an insanely good cast it's gonna be hard for anyone to go there and not be like, oh, the original was better. Because, I mean, who is gonna be a better Willy Wonka than Gene Wilder? But it's not like you can get Gene Wilder to just do it again. They're gonna be new adaptations, and I suppose I can approach them with an open mind. I do not, however, have high hopes for this one. Your favorite Dune is the 80s? I watched I think I watched the 80s version of Dune, as well as the new Dune. I watched both Dunes. I didn't like either Dune. I think I just don't like or care about the story of Dune, unfortunately. The David Lynch Dune had, like, a weird little worm guy in a tank, and there was, like, a cow for some reason. I think I just don't like Dune. I think that's really what it comes down to. I want to like Dune because I know that it's so influential as, like, a part of the sci-fi genre, but I just don't like it, and that's fair. Not every piece of media is going to connect with every person. I haven't even watched the trailer for Dune Part 2 because I'm like, the odds of me taking the time to watch this, not particularly high. But we'll see. You never know. What I am excited for in terms of cinema, in terms of film, is that we have Barbie and Oppenheimer, and they're both going to be competing with each other at the box office. And while there are many who are like, make it a double feature, go do Barbenheimer and see both, I think it will be really interesting to see which of those two films actually makes more money. I think there is something deeply interesting in that, and I am eager to see the results once those do actually hit theaters. Hi, Michaela. Welcome. I am also very much looking forward to Barbie. My older sister watched a lot of, like, the Barbie as Rapunzel or Barbie and Swan Lake kind of movies growing up, so I saw quite a few of those. As well as I'm just a fan of Greta Gerwig as a director, so I'm really excited to see what she plans to do with this film. I've tried very hard not to, like, watch any of the trailers, because I just want to go in there, like, total as blind as I can be and see what it's all about, so I'm hopeful. What else did I see since we last hung out? I did see Asteroid City, and it's absolutely the most Wes Anderson of all of Wes Anderson's films. I don't think he's ever made a film that I would say is more Wes Anderson than that one. Like, holy crap. I didn't like it. Let's be clear here. I don't like Wes Anderson films in terms of I never think that they have a very strong, like, story. But the visuals on point, We got more miniatures, fantastic. Random musical numbers, absolutely. And that's all stuff that I can get behind. Was it weirdly depressing? Absolutely. Of course. It has to be. It's a West film. Also, this one had an alien in it. And I love anything with an alien in it. I'm biased towards aliens. Come on, Robbie. Let's go, Robbie. Massive explosion sound. Yeah. Yeah. All of the memes are great. I love people who are, like, posting t-shirt designs that are, like, Oppenheimer but in the Barbie font, or Barbie but with a massive explosion behind. Like, all of that, it's very neo-Dadaist in terms of art movements, and I adore it. I'm happy about just, like, the fucking how weird that is as a parallel. It's great. They're Chris, hello, and you have a super valid point that they will probably both make a buttload of money. That is very fair. And that's good. I hope that, theaters stick around. There was some doubt about that during COVID, and I remember being, well, not during COVID, as though COVID has passed. It's still very much an ongoing problem that people have just decided that they're not going to care about. But, at the start of things, people were like, will movie theaters survive this? And I was like, they fucking better. There's nothing I love more in this world than a day where I'm like, I'm just going to spend all day at the movies, and that's my activity. That's what the whole day is gonna be. It's Barbie time to slay. You haven't been to see a movie in theaters since Paul Blart Mall Cop? Really, Soda? Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Obviously, Asteroid City was the last thing I saw in theaters, but I've been going pretty much as often as I can, or as often as there's something I want to see in theaters. I like going to the movies. I'd go every week if I could justify it, but there's not often something that I actually want to see, or someone who's like, let's go see this thing that you do, like, that I want to see but you don't. I have my quirks with not wanting to see any superhero films, but that's about it. Other than that, as long as someone suggests something, I'll be like, yeah, I'll go see that. I just want cinema to still be weird, I like when movies are like, that's a premise that I never thought anyone would make a film about. I'll go see that. Like, I remember I think it was last year, time is confusing and difficult, but I think I saw, like, I saw Men, and I saw, Pearl. I saw 3,000 Years of Longing. I saw Nope. It was a decent year for weird little films. Well, not necessarily little, but, like, they sure just were making some ideas into movies, and I like that. Wouldn't see Men again. Wouldn't see The Northman again. I saw that, I think, last year as well. Don't quote me on time. Time is a nonsense thing that I could not possibly be asked to keep track of. Was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies last year as well? I like that one a lot. I think we should let Lee Pace do more films if he wants to. I'm always interested in what roles he's going to end up playing. Have I ever done a double feature? Absolutely. Love a double feature. Last year, around the 4th of July, my friends came to visit, and about an hour away from me, there's a drive-in theater, like a proper old style drive-in that I absolutely love, and they do double features, so I was like, hey, you're visiting, I want to show you some of the stuff that I like in the area around. Let's go watch a movie. And they were like, hell yeah, we want to go to the drive-in. So we went and saw, just because that happened to be what was playing, but the double feature was Lightyear and Top Gun Maverick. I thought both films were terrible. I'm not a Top Gun fan, but it was still fun. I know a lot of people really liked Top Gun Maverick. I was not amongst the fans. Hot take, didn't think it was that fun. But that's okay. Other double features I've seen at that same drive-in. I've seen, for Halloween one year, it was Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice. Also, The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth was fun. And I've seen other... What did I see? A couple of years ago, I just wanted a day at the theater. So I saw what was playing, which at the time I think was Antlers and Venom 2. So I was like, yep, I guess I'll do that. That's fine. It's not often that I have the actual free time to do a double feature as much as I'd like to, but certainly it has happened before, and it will happen again. Just don't know when. Maybe I'll do Barbie and Oppenheimer. Who knows? I'll keep you posted, though. You'll get my thoughts after I've seen the film, for sure. I probably don't need to drench these whole things in frickin' panel liner, but that's just the mood that we're going with today, and I'll clean them up and highlight and stuff later, and it'll be fine. I haven't managed to mess up anything so bad that it wasn't recoverable on these models. I'm not too worried about it. I'm only mildly worried about it. They can be a little grungy, because they're, like, in space, you know? Unless they drive by a space laundromat, they're probably not getting, like, their cloaks all cleaned up and stuff on a regular basis. I don't know the exact nature of the setting in 5 parsecs from home. Maybe there's more space laundromats than I'm bargaining for, but my guys can be a little grungy if they want to be. When panel liner is just... Sometimes panel liner is just wash, and you have to accept that. You gotta just roll with it. Like, I'm gonna do what I want. They're my models. No one can tell me I'm using this product wrong. It's mine. I'll make my guys however I want. Ooh, if I was able to program a theater event, what 2 films would I double feature? That's a really solid question. Right now, I'm really, like, into kind of, like, anime vampire films or just stuff like that. So I feel like Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is my obvious answer for one of them. I just feel like no one's putting the respect on that film that I wish that they would, except me. And then it kind of feels like, just sort of to go along with it, like what a good compliment would be, would be something like Empire of Corpses, which is also another kind of like spooky animated film. But I don't like Empire of Corpses as much as I like Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. And if I'm like, you know, I'm the one in the theater picking films, I guess I can pick any film that I want. Seeing Mad Max Fury Road again on screen is obviously really cool. I've seen it numerous times in theaters, and pretty much any time it's announced that like it's gonna be back in theaters, I go and see it again. So that's always a favorite. What would a good complement to Fury Road be? It could be like, you could do like a Feminine Rage kind of double feature if you wanted to go that angle for taking that aspect of Fury Road rather than like bookends of action films. You could just sort of go that route. What other film would I choose that would fit the bill with that? It's a real thinker sometimes. I just like, sometimes I feel like my picks for films are a little bit pretentious, and I'm like, I'd also like to see Portrait of a Woman on Fire in theaters. That would be cool. But it's like a foreign French film that doesn't fit with Mad Max at all. Like, there isn't the crossover in audience that there should be for a successful double feature. I'm just picking films that I like rather than ones that make sense to go together. Which, you know, it's a way of choosing films. It's a methodology. Gosh. You know what? We could go the opposite route. We could do like a Tim Curry double feature, and we could do Muppet Treasure Island and Clue, or Knives Out and Clue would also be good. Knives Out and Clue would complement each other well. That has the crossover that I'm looking for, you know, in terms of genre, in terms of mood. Could do Train to Busan and Snowpiercer. That would be a depressing double feature. But I think something like Knives Out and Clue could be fun. It could be good. I've got these little guys from Trent, these miniatures that are made out of lead. I primed 2 of them today. I really want to paint them. I feel like I should do a video on painting them. But I really kind of just want to start painting them, which is not good because I have other projects to finish, but look at how whimsical these little guys are. Yeah, train double feature would be fun. I'm gonna paint this one like a chocolate frog, I think. And then this one is gonna be like a little cookie watchman, and he's got a little cloak. The fucking primer did some weird shit, but that's fine. That's just cookie texture. I can fix that. I'm gonna paint like a bunch of sprinkles on his cloak. I don't even know what the theme of the video is gonna be for these, other than just like, these minis are cool and I want to paint them. That's a theme. I really want to paint this guy too, but I don't know what color scheme I want to use. This is like quintessential Trent miscast to me. Like, I feel like this is a very Trent miniature, and I'm excited about it. We also have this alien who's got like a staff that's a hand with an eyeball in it. Love that. A snail that is also a cat. This little guy who's got a blaster, which is fun. And like this wispy little fella. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him yet either. There's just some of the interesting stuff that I've got sitting around. My double features are like Muppets the Movie and Saw 2. I mean, in terms of style whiplash, I don't feel like that comment is unjustified, but you didn't have to say it. You know, you could have just not. You could have just not. I don't know what I'm gonna paint, so I'm gonna just pick a random guy and stuff. I'm not gonna pick a random guy. That's gonna lead me to never finishing anything. Because this is another Mordheim guy that I gotta finish. But I should actually finish some of the miniatures that are sitting on my desk first. So let's just work on this one, which I don't particularly have strong feelings about, but I need to add highlights and stuff too, so we'll do that. We'll be responsible. Listen, I think if you want to watch Muppet Treasure Island and Saw 2 as your double feature, you should be allowed to do so. If those are truly the two films that speak to you, I mean, I've got questions, but don't let my questions hold you back. Oh, I was gonna paint candy cane stripes on this. I need to do that too. I suppose if you were trying to keep things non-entirely Muppet, I mean, why would you? But you could do like a Treasure Planet, Muppet Treasure Island double feature. Have only one of those films contain Muppets. You saw Midnight and Moana? Yeah, those are pretty different. Ooh, you could do like why don't, you know what? Final answer, it's Labyrinth and Pan's Labyrinth. That's my double feature. That's what it is. That's my final answer. I'm locking it in. Labyrinth and Pan's Labyrinth are the double feature that I would choose. To a George Miller double feature. Mad Max and Happy Feet. Yeah. No, I've picked. I've chosen. It took me a while to get there, but we found it in the end. Now you guys are just gonna continue naming George Miller films. However, George Miller didn't direct Babe. He only directed the sequel, Babe, Pig in the City. So, what do you think about that, Chris? Kind of weird. Kind of interesting. I feel like I haven't asked in a little while because so many people came by. What are you guys all working on tonight? What hobby projects have you got on your table, or what have you worked on since last time I streamed? It's been a little while, so you had plenty of time. Plenty of time to work on your projects. Like progress report time. How's it going? Got a Warhammer due at the end of the month. This is back to school painting. I don't think it's back to school time yet, actually. I have no concept of time, like I've mentioned before. Clip and sprues. Right. You said that, I think. You were building Space Marines. For some reason. Probably to amass a horde of Space Marines. What chapter are you going to pick them as? Oh no, you dropped a biker and you're missing a handlebar. That's not good. You're not tower getting there. Nice. Ooh, you got a Thousand Suns combat patrol, so you're assembling Zangors. That's fun. All those kind of Zinchi guys, they really interest me. Okay, I apologize, Soda. That must have been somewhat. See, I've gotten rusty at all this streaming stuff since I last did it. You're just organizing guard bits. Okay, fair enough. Dark Eldar Grotesques. You know, I've been looking at Eldar, which I didn't think too much about the first, I don't know, 4 dozen times I've looked at them. But I saw a model today. I don't know which one it was. I think I just follow, like, Siege Studios or whatever. You know, they're like a professional painting studio. I follow them on Instagram. They posted an Eldar guy today, and I was like, yeah, I can kind of see myself painting some Eldar. Not Drukhari, but the, like, actual, like, Eldar. There's a difference there, right? Or is there just bad Eldar? I don't fucking know. Yeah, Zinch models have fun color palettes. Of course, I always just go bananas and do whatever I want to with the colors, but if there were an army where I like followed the box art more closely, I think something Zinch has a case to be made for it. Although I kind of want to do like a Fruit Loop breakfast cereal inspired Zinch army. I feel like that would be cool. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I need to grab a bottle of water because that one's out. So give me just a second and I'll be back. Thank you. I have returned. Drukhari and Eldari. Okay. There's Craft World normal space high elves. Drukhari are Hellraiser Repo genetic opera elves, and Harlequin are clown elves. Truly, all genders represented there. That's another one you can throw into a double feature pretty easily. Like, Repo the Genetic Opera goes with a lot of... Like, Hellraiser Repo is certainly a combo people would watch. I've done a... In my own home, I've done a Repo Sweeney Todd double feature. Murder musicals. Just gonna add some detail to these wings. Make them look nicer. Do have to go back and add all my shading to the chocolate. That's gonna be quote unquote fun, quotation marks. I really do like this little model. He's tons of fun. I've had a good time painting him. It's nice. I have my little candy house that I painted that I'm really proud of. And it's up on my desk. And I put the first model, like, that I ever painted in my style. I painted one model, like, just as a learn to paint night before painting this model. So it's technically not the very first model that I ever painted. But it's the very first model that I ever finished and ever did in my own style. So I consider it my first model. But, it's this guy. And then putting him next to this house was really cool because, I mean, obviously, if I had another copy of this model, this Flesh Golem WizKids model, like, I could paint it better now, but it still goes with the house. Like, they work together, and that's neat. I like how they look together. He looks like he could be the proverbial candy wolf to whatever three little pigs are hiding in this cottage, and, like, he fits right in the doorway almost, and it's cool. I like that it works together, and these are models that I've painted years apart. I'm really proud of this cottage. If anyone asks me what I've painted most recently that I'm proud of, it's gonna be this. I mean, is there a better epitome of my style than this particular building? I love it so much. I didn't get why people liked painting terrain, and I don't understand why people like painting terrain in normal ways, but I get it with this. I really do. Just set that over here. Three little pigs, but they're brown sugar bacon people. Oh man, that's a combination. Repo and Care Bears in Wonderland. No, I don't think I would go to that double feature. No one should be subjected to Care Bears in Wonderland. Except maybe my friend Dustin, who makes me watch a variety of terrible, terrible movies. Most recently, for his birthday, he got to pick the movie. Because, you know, that's what you let people do on their birthdays. And Dustin had me watch his favorite bad movie, which is this movie called The Big Bus. And I'm hoping that most people tuning in have never had to watch The Big Bus before, because it's not a good movie. It's not good. I don't like it. It was awful. It just kind of ended. Yeah, but we watched The Big Bus, and that was an experience. So if any of you out there think I only watch pretentious indie films or weird stuff that I find on YouTube, please know there is a Canadian out there whose sole purpose it is, not sole purpose, one of the greatest purposes that he's been tasked with in life is making sure that I see a variety of truly awful films. Big Bus, like the fucking car that takes, not car, motor vehicle, BUS. It is about a bus, so there's that. Like, there is a bus in the film. Oh God, it's a comedy. Yeah, I mean, it's bad and it's a comedy. You understand some of my pain, Soda. You get what I've been through. You empathize with my struggles here. This is a paint that I've never used before, which means this is the right time to test it out. It wasn't unwatchable. I did watch it. Truly, there are some films that I'm like, I am gonna turn this off and not finish this. This was not one of those. I have been ruminating though. Like I talk a lot of shit about films that I don't like, especially when it comes to horror. And there's a lot of things in horror that I do like, and there's a lot of things that I don't. But ever since I watched Skinamarink, I've been kind of enamored with the idea of analog horror and possibly making my own little short film. Not like a proper film, but like found like pretty much just like what any person can cobble together from public use footage, a couple of simple animations, and a basic plot. Just like some little 3 to 4 minute thing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, and I won't post it to this channel if I do, because, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, it's a mini painting video. That's cool. Oh no, there's blood, and that would be like bad. So I won't post it here, but I've just been kind of taken with the idea of making my own little silly project and using some of that animation school stuff that's lurking in the back of my brain that I still kind of know how to do, but I haven't really had a reason or a practical application for or anything like that. I'm sure everybody muses on this kind of stuff every now and again, but yeah. You found the handlebar! Hell yeah, Goober! That's fantastic. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Hoodie Mouse says, do it. Thank you. I appreciate the enthusiasm. And I might. I haven't really decided. Analog horror is too goofy. That's fair. A lot of it does kind of venture into the silly as opposed to scary. So I feel you there. It's a fine line to walk sometimes, because especially when a lot of what you have at your disposal is like, ooh, I'm going to use this cartoon that's in the public domain. Ooh, I'm going to use this nursery rhyme that's in the public domain or whatever. Like, that stuff isn't inherently scary on its own, and trying to find a way to transform it into something that is spooky probably isn't always going to work. But for some reason I'm struck by the idea and can't really get the notion of it out of my head, which probably means I'm going to at least make an attempt. Ooh, Ravaged Star Veil Touched. Yeah, I remember seeing those models around the time everyone was kind of promoting them. And there was a huge Ravaged Star display at Adepticon. That was neat. There's some good looking models in there. I like some of the kind of hashtag not corn demon looking ones. Or I guess not world eater looking ones. For me, they're a bit too Space Marine. Like, they're still kind of solidly in that zone, so I didn't end up picking up any of them, but I do think that there's some There's some good design work going on there. I can't remember if I've told the public the name for this little kitbashed guy, but he has a name now. I discussed it with my fellow Mordheim players when we were sitting around, before, just like at the game store, just talking for a little bit. Because my friend Cameron is making I think it's a Cult of the Possessed team, and Zier's team is all cookie themed. Like, Z already had some Slaanesh models that were cookie themed, so Z was looking up different cookie names, and Tim Tams came up at one point, and I was like, I need to just name this little guy Tim Tam Slam. So this is Tim Tam Slam, the Mordheim Dreg. He's one of the heroes for my undead war band, I think. I'm trying to remember the proper Mordheim terminology for these things, because, like, it's like, oh, with 5 parsecs, it's like a crew. With this, it's like a gang. With this, it's a different thing. There's so many. For my little Mordheim guys. My little guys. But yeah, this one's Tim Tam Slam. And I think that's an extremely valid choice of name. The only other one I've named is my vampire is Affogato Von Appetit, which I was really proud of the pun there. Because, like, a vampire, but also, like Bon Appetit, the thing you say before you eat, and it's a vampire made out of candy. I don't feel like I need to explain this. The joke probably explains itself just fine. It's a little difficult when I can't hear a begrudging chuckle from people as I explain things to them, you know? That's the true downfall of being in a digital format, is I can't actually hear if people groan when I make a pun. That's lost to us. This kind of digital age. Trying to see what kind of little doodads he's got on his belt. Looks like a hook and a little sword. I gotta paint those in. Okay, cool. Cybergoth punk noise marines. That's dope. Noise marines seem fun. I only know the model that's like the one model that GW has or made or whatever, where it's like the little guy with the mohawk, and the box art model has like all the different cheetah print and stuff painted on there. That's such a cool model. The only good official noise marine. If they release multiple, I don't know about the other ones, unfortunately. Potentially fortunately, potentially unfortunately. In either case, I only know the ones that I know. I feel like finding good 3D printing files to enhance things really, really aids in what something could be. Initially, I wanted to mold and cast Because all of, like, Trent Miscast's minis come with a recasting license, which is really cool and something that I think really speaks to his brand as a creator, where he's like, yeah, just make stuff. It's fine. But, like, I wanted to have so many of this little guy and do an entire little town guard. I thought would be really cute. They were all a little cookie guard for the town that I'm making. But then I found a person on our Discord server posted a STL file link that was free, and it's just of little gingerbread men, and they look so cute that I think I might get my friend to 3D print me some of those and use them as town guard models instead. Because that would be really, really cool. And then when Trent does another release of more models, I'll just buy more of this little guy if I have to, because I can then support the person who made them and also get more of the model that I want if I end up wanting more, which I probably will. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to plan that far ahead in my life. It's not as though I don't have plenty of models to finish right now, as can clearly be seen by the state of my desk, which is covered in these little guys. Yeah, it's a Future Fives problem. Absolutely. Some problems in this world, we just leave Future Fives to deal with, and we hope that they figure it out in the end. Can't be sure, but we try our best. He's looking pretty good, though. I'm happy with him. I gave him a little, like, gummy worm tail, so I'm gonna have to put, like, some glaze medium on that or something to make it really pop. I think his eyeball being a little X is fun, but I should put, like, a little shine in there, I think. Oh no, that was a bad decision. I don't like how that looks. See if I can just erase that. Yes, I can. I don't have to live with my poor decision. Thought putting in a little highlight would be good, but alas, 'twas not to be. At least not with this current level of brush control that I'm at, which could change. Certainly got some details to add on this guy too. It looks really good so far. I'm trying not to rely on washes for these models, not the space ones that you saw earlier. I don't mind if they have a lot of washes and stuff, but I feel like figuring ways to build up shading and stuff without washes is probably something useful that I can learn to do on a different type of model. Kind of test that out on my Mordheim gang and see If I like that, see if it's fun. If it is, great. If it's not, I'll try something else. I do refuse to paint models if I'm not having a fun time doing it. So it's good that I often find this the most fun thing that I could possibly be doing. And everybody's suggestions about how to give him a little crown ended up working out great. Roz was able to find one of those thin little straws that they give you in alcoholic beverages, and got to add a little crown. It worked out perfect. It was a little tricky to like cut it out correctly. That took some doing, but once I had it, it's the perfect scale, the perfect size, exactly what I want. Can't complain about that. So if you ever need to make an extremely small crown for one of your miniatures, got the details. I know how to do it. I'll share the secret. But this guy, he's the vampire in my army, so he's like the main guy, and I want him to look the best, so I'm probably going to take an ungodly amount of time to finish this model for me, which is still pretty quick by most standards, because I tend to paint fast, but, you know, you can't have everything. I think that might be where I call it for this particular stream, though. I still have to ease back into doing this, and I'm getting a little tired and my hands are shaking a little bit. So I think there's not going to be too much fine detail work that I can do on these guys. I think I want to make a video about painting these little dudes, so I don't want to get them started just yet. And then those guys have a wash that's drying on them, so I can't actually do all too much. I suppose I could try... I could put a base green down for the base. I can do that. I can put a base coat on this, and then we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up after that. But I'll mix up a green. Hopefully it'll be close to the same shade of green that I've used for the moon on the other bases. Which I think is just teal and yellow so flat mixed together. So hopefully I can get that same combination. We'll see. I think that someone should do a Space Marine chapter inspired by the Barbie and Oppenheimer release that's happening. They could just like split it down the middle. You know how all those old models, like the Rogue Trader era ones, would just have like models split into quarters. Could do something that's like black with explosions painted on the panels on one side and then Barbie pink on the other. I think it would be a good look. I think the world's ready for something like that, you know? I think it's time. I have no idea which Space Marine faction they would be a successor chapter to. Maybe Salamanders for all the, like, fire stuff, but I don't know enough Salamanders lore to corroborate that. I do think we got the right shade of green, though, which is great, because I throw a Tesseract glow over this, which changes it slightly, but this looks about right. hopefully it's a green that's going to end up just different enough from the werewolf that he doesn't blend in entirely. And I know that means I could have painted the werewolf a different color, but I really wanted to do a green alien werewolf. Like, I wanted that so bad that I wasn't willing to change anything. And the green just happens to look really good as a color scheme for the bases for all the other models. So, not the most intelligent choice in the world, but I wanted to stay true to the parts I liked about how this was coming together. And hopefully, once all is said and done, it'll still look fairly good. Okay, so it looks like it's about 2 parts blue to 1 part yellow. I can remember that ratio. That's not too bad. Pink but with gray panels could work too. Barbie Space Marine. Someone should do it. I think Midwinter Minis even recently put out a tutorial on how to make something that's just like coated with glitter. You could do that. Someone should do that. I probably won't do that, but I could. Okay, so we've done that. We made some good progress on our little guys, which is always fun to see. We've got new little guys that I got to show off, and hopefully we'll paint up in a video sometime soon. I think that might be fun. I should put this guy on a base so I can have 3, because having 3 feels correct. Anyway, thank you so much for joining in, for watching the stream. Appreciate you guys. I will, I'll just be over here working on my little content from time to time. If you want to join us on Discord, or support me on Patreon, or follow me on Instagram, all those things are cool. But really, I just hope you have a nice night and take care of yourselves. Bye!